Hello and welcome to this Warno 2v2 game played on Ohmen Duel, which is a 1v1 map. So today we've got GingerDeadMan playing as 6 Easy, and EJdude playing as 35th US. So these guys have clearly drawn the short end of the stick because they're going up against Gadaffi playing 6Y and Bone playing 7th East German Panzer Division. So we'll go through the deck reviews, then we'll talk about the map, the matchup, the deployments, and the game. And as always, timestamps in the description. Right, so these are the deck reviews. For 2v2, we tend to do things a little bit differently. For 2v2 and up, there's no point going through every single unit for 4 decks. We'll be here forever. So the first thing to think about is, the synergy between the divisions. That's very important. So we've got, we'll start with NATO. We've got 35th and 6th French. 35th is kind of bad. The main reason is that you just run out of stuff. You run out of stuff quite quickly. So if you think about like the National Guard rifles M67, because basically the idea is in 1v1 at least that you spam these out, you just end up running out of units because you only get 4 of these, which is really weird. And yeah, you only actually get 1 card of this, and 1 card of and 2 cards of these, and these are the ones that are at 4 availability. It's really depressing. Because it's like, oh, well, they're engineers, so, like, what's engineering about them? They've not got flamethrowers, right? So, yeah, it's a tough div to play. It's just not very good, basically. But what I will say is, so you tend to need 3 cards of supply if you're running loads of RT, or, like, loads of heavy tanks that you've got to supply, and neither of these divs are doing that. There's no MLRS, there's no rocket RT, and there's no heavy tanks that you need to just constantly heal up. So you don't really need 3 cards of supply each. You don't really need a fob. I mean, I've not seen the game yet. I'd be very, very surprised if this fob runs out, because what are you using it for? You've got no rocket RT. Rocket RT drains a lot of supply. And you've got no, like, mega tanks that you constantly have to heal up 24/7. So I think there's like a massive overabundance of supply in both of these divisions. You could just run 2 cards each and not have to worry about it. So that's 1,500 in a card, okay. So yeah, if like let's say you get rid of this, and on the other side you get rid of the other one, then you can afford. Oh, they're all 3-point slots. What a joke. Oh yeah, you could afford some regular Cobras. I mean, this is 3 per card. Although the accuracy is 5% less, and you might think, well, it's only 5%. That's 25% of your DPS is gone. Because if it's 20% and it goes down to 15%, let's say I shoot you with 100 bullets and only 20% of them hit. That's 20 bullets, all right? Now, okay, so I'm hitting you with 20 bullets. Now I'm only hitting you with 15 bullets, right? If you think of it in the context of 100 to 20 or 100 to 15, that doesn't make that much difference. But the point is, if you're used to using a regular Cobra where you hit 20 bullets out of 100, and now you're using one where you only hit 15 bullets, the DPS has actually gone down by 25%, not 5%, right? So it is actually a big deal. But as a result, you get 3 in a card, so that's nice, isn't it? So these are pretty useful, actually. But you'll notice that they do 25% less damage than the regular Cobra, so that's something. The seed, don't upvet your seed. This it's just gonna die anyway, right? So you're thinking, I need the 8% ECM. Wouldn't you rather have 2 planes? I'd rather have 2 planes. I don't really understand why these are only 3 per card instead of 4. They've only got 6 HP. That is weird, actually. This div, Balance Man really did a number on this div. Oh dear. Yeah, don't bet your Eyehawks. The Duster's nice against infantry. And yeah, the Roland is good. I mean, so basically you're playing a 2v2 and a 1v1 map. So I'm not really sure you need both of these, because they do the same thing, which is long range AA. Now, given that 6E doesn't get great long range AA, okay, maybe bring 2 cards if you want. But I personally, in this particular situation, in a 1v1 I wouldn't do this, but in this particular situation, I'd bring 2 cards of Ihawk. But in a 1v1, I just don't bring this. And I just run the US Rolands at 1-vet, because they're wheeled, they're nice and fast, and they, they're self-propelled, you don't have to worry too much about them. They're not as good as an Ihawk, right? But, I mean, in terms of how much damage they do, but the fact that they're self-propelled, they're nice against helos, right? You can move them around, speedy, die less to counter battery and stuff. Oh, well, regular battery. So, yeah, so I realise I'm sort of going the wrong way here. The National Guard ACAV, you could bring 1 card in the National Guard ACAV if you want. So that you've got a bit more punch. And then you can keep 1 in the regular truck. But, you get... I'm trying to think. Bring whatever you want, right? I don't have too much practice on this division. I can't remember what I do. I'm pretty sure I bring a bigger recon squad. It's been a while since I played it, but basically you just run out of stuff. You just run out of stuff every time. See, look, this is back when I was in my three cards of supply build day. But what I realized is that if you just switch off the fuel on all your supply, you don't actually need 3 cards on a lot of divisions. But you got to remember to keep turning off the fuel, otherwise the vehicles will just drain all your supply, and you'll be like, where did it go? So yeah, I just bring the Roland, the Duster, and the Stinger, and I actually upvet the Duster, and I bring the Seed, 2 LGBTs, and the AT. I mean, it's just it's not an amazing div, so there's a limit to how much help I can really give you. The one I particularly wanted to look at was a recon to Qatar. But yeah, so I bring the National Guard Cav Scouts. I think that's the Law version. No, it's a Dragon version. So I bring these for the start of the game at 1-vet, because you don't have any airborne forward deployment. But given that you're in a team game with 6E, you don't really need them. Either way, I'd get at least 1 of these in the ACAV just to pack a bit more of a punch. You can get both in the ACAV if you want. This thing's alright. I mean, at Nova it's kind of crap, because it'll just immediately run out of cohesion and die. I could have sworn this used to go 6-4, you know. Like, why the hell is it only 4-2? Maybe I'm getting that wrong. Yeah, big sad. And then this is very good optics, so yeah, that's nice. This thing sucks. It's really not that great. It's nice for doing like a meme smoke thing at the start, so you can get into an area with the smoke, and maybe you can coordinate with your teammates, and in general it's more trouble than it's worth. So yeah, you bring all the tanks at 1-vet, which makes sense. This thing is anti-infantry. Okay, we'll see how it performs. I haven't been bringing it, but yeah, we'll see how it performs. Like, you could bring it at 1-vet, because you got plenty of regular tanks, so like, do you need 6 of these? Maybe you do. I wouldn't know. So yeah, I've noticed that, so yeah, military police vehicle, and I've noticed that this one's at no vet, and that's probably because you've ran into the same issue I've run into, which is you just run out of infantry and die on what is supposed to be an infantry division. You've run out of everything and die. It's very sad. So yeah, that's that one. 6E in a team game, in a narrow map. I mean, basically the idea behind this division is it can flank wide, right, and it can play on the left and then play on the right. You've got to use your mobility. As soon as you get bogged down in a static fight, you should lose because you suck. The only advantage is you go fast. And so, if you're playing a 2v2 on a 1v1 map, this is like just an absolutely terrible idea. So, once again, there's a limit to how much I can say, right? Another thing is, so the CVs, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 CVs. It's a lot of CVs, right? So this guy can probably afford to get rid of his infantry CVs, and you can get rid of a card of supply as well, and you can get rid of your infantry CVs, because you've got, and you would still have 11 CVs between you on a 1v1 map, where people typically bring 7, right? So I think 11's fine. And then, yeah, so 2 cards of Milans, alright, and then you can get some more Legionnaires in, so, because I've no, so what's this for, exactly? It's for Appalachian shooting tanks. Okay. But your regular guys come with a pretty nice rocket launcher anyway, and these guys come with the Appalachian, and these guys come with... It is a pretty nice rocket launcher, because it's got the same range, and it's got nice high accuracy, and crucially it's got mega suppression, so it just cohesion nukes them. So I find that you don't really need this. And then you can just run, you know, 2 cards of Legionnaires, and I don't know, next time I play I might try messing around with the... So 12-8. Like something like this, just for the anti-infantry. I mean, I know you've got VAB Legions to shoot at infantry, so maybe you don't need it. And these guys all have DMRs, so maybe you're alright against infantry. But yeah, with those remaining 5 points, you could get more infantry if you want. Or you could get... I'm pretty sure I filled this tab. Seed and... Yeah, it's hard to give advice because it's like, why have you picked these divs, basically? So it's just sort of making the best of a bad situation. Yeah, you can bring these if you want. I'm trying to figure out where to put the remaining points. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe you could bring more CVs to the... I don't really recommend it, though. I mean... Well, I suppose we fixed the infantry problem. It's just, yeah, though, in my 1v1 deck, which I might as well just show you, we've got... where are we? Sometimes these decks just seem to delete themselves. But also, there's a lot of decks, so I might just be looking over it. Here it is. So I fill this tab. I've got... oh no, I see. I've just not got the cluster one. I just bring double LGBT. That might be a mistake, actually. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know what to say, really. You just shouldn't be playing this div. So, if you're playing in a 1v1 on a really big map, or even a 2v2 on a really big map, you can go around the sides and stuff, but you're playing a 1v1 map with a 2v2 in a 2v2, and you're playing a division that relies on going around the sides and stuff, and you can't do that. There's no space. So, you know, we can put the this back in, but it's like, you know, or you can, there you go, now you've got some more CV autonomy and what have you. Yeah, so howitzers, mortars for smoke. The Legion one's better than the regular one because it gets additional veterancy and less aim time in exchange for 5 points. That's the same reason why you don't bring these. You might as well just bring the Legionnaires, right? Because to get more availability at the same veterancy, or you can even get a rank of veterancy over them, right? If you find there's too much infantry here, which I don't see why you would, but if you do, you can start vetting these, right? Yeah, so Blinde Legion, the Spahis. I mean, this is a lot of tanks. Do you not find that? Well, I suppose you've got 2 cards of ATGMs here, so maybe that makes sense. This one's been updated, okay. The Spahis are alright, but honestly, like, this is your airborne forward deployment at 100 kilometers an hour, so in a 1v1 I'd bring this. I would bring this over the VBL Milan. Especially given that your teammate doesn't have any airborne forward deployment at 100. Because, you know, it's road speed 100, right? This is airborne forward deployment. It goes at road speed 90. I don't think it's as fast off-road either. 65 versus 90, yeah. So I like running both cards. And then you make sure you get there first, and then you can throw the smoke and, you know, past the first couple of minutes of the game, it doesn't really matter anymore. But I like having both. So you would swap out this for it, but maybe you really want that. This drone thing's pretty cool, but the hidden evasion's now 20% instead of 50, and it's just not written anywhere. It wasn't written anywhere when it was 50. Now it's 20. Great. So you'll notice they die more. But the game doesn't tell you why. So yeah, you can get the Trask Legion if you want, or you can swap these out for like the Gazelle Celtics. But you know, just for the opener, you can open with. Yeah, I put this up to 2 that I didn't explain why. You would open with these and the drone and all 3 of these. So in a 1v1 that can work. and then you can secure a lot of ground, and you know, maybe one of these. The reason you want it at 2 vet is because it practically doubles the accuracy, which doubles the DPS, right? And it aims faster, which means you've got more of a chance of killing the guy who's coming on the road towards you that hasn't noticed you yet. You've got an extra half a second. So, yeah, I mean, getting the seed out, I guess in this particular matchup, it doesn't really make much sense to try and spam air. So maybe it was a mistake for me to put this here, and instead you should just get another card of artillery or something. Because the ground is just going to become saturated with, like, what is it, 4 bucks and 8 cubs or whatever they decide to bring. So spamming air just isn't going to work. So me putting this in, I was thinking 1v1, but that's not what's happening here. So you can spend your 3 points on more infantry for the grind, but you're trying to grind with a deck that just ain't made for it, so you're going to struggle. The alternative is, you know, you could get the Vab Mephisto, right? Because that's got really nice anti-tank capability. And then you've got 5 Vab Mephistos, so you don't need this anymore, and then you can bring the Dinops, and then there you go, there's your smoke. So something like that. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. So switching to their opponent's draft, it's a much better draft, frankly. They've got not really enough airborne forward deployment. They've only got 4 units and they go at 90, not 100. But the general idea is if you're playing on a map that's too small, PACT is going to win. Because they're going to rocket arty you. Which brings us to our next question, which is if you've brought all this supply, where's the rocket arty? I don't see it. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 CVs is a lot. You don't need 15 CVs. But yeah, what I would be doing is getting an RM70 in here somewhere. So that's a 3-pointer. And then unironically, and then you can swap one of these out for the. In fact, that's the nicest one, isn't it? You can swap, but well, they're all. You can swap one of these out for the fob, and then you drop a fob at the start. Get these two because you're on a map that it should be bigger. And yeah, you can just spam the rocket arty till the cows come home because there's nowhere to hide, and you'll just kill everybody. So the Mott Schutzen, I really prefer this one, although it did go up in price by 5 points, right? So this is the accuracies are actually about the same because of the range difference, because the accuracy decreases with range, and this has more range. This has more range. This has more pen. You can bring either one, right? I personally prefer this one because basically it's all about like cohesion nuking. So if you outrange them, you can lower their cohesion from further away, and you also actually do a little bit more suppression. And so for me, it's more about cohesion nuking than killing. But yeah, this will one-shot, well, itself basically. So yeah, it's not a bad idea to bring it, especially given because the gap used to be 10 points. In which case it was just a no-brainer to bring this. Now it's 5. It's actually an interesting decision. But before this was a no-brainer. So yeah, maybe this is the better option now. I wouldn't know. I need to think about it. And then yeah, so you've got Mott Schutzen BTR if you need wheeled guys. So this can honestly, I would give yourself a 30mm grenade launcher. That's probably a pretty good idea. This you don't bother up vetting because it's an ATGM team, and what you're getting for this is suppression resistance, which, you know, you'd rather have 2 more of these because basically how it surrounds just going to immediately kill them, and so it doesn't matter how much suppression resistance you have. So you might as well just get more of them. Pioneers I like over... Pioneer Flam I think is really ass because it's got a reload time of 8 seconds, so if it misses it's just dead. So I prefer the regular Pioneers, and yeah, they're at 1 vet. The regular infantry should be at 1 vet, yeah. It's just the ATGM teams, there's no point of vetting them. It's the same reason for these grenade launcher teams. If you're losing HP, you know, you don't want to stick around and fight, you just want to run away. Arty we spoke about. And then, yeah, spam out the T-72s and the T-55s. That's all very sensible. Airborne forward deployment. Aufklärer. I like these, but, I mean, you've got a lot of recon, so maybe you don't really need it. But, yeah, let's say you bring that, then you can swap this out for the recon healer, which is kind of nice to have, but if your teammate has one, you don't really need it, so, you know, feel free if you want this. But it's not got smoke, just keep that in mind. Can't remember if it was upvetted or not. You want to upvet it if you want the infantry fighting people, and you want to downvet it if it's just so you can get a bunch of these and stick them in bushes. AA, so this is a lot of... so that's a 3-point slot. What else would you spend it on? More supply? Yeah, more planes. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit overkill on the AA, like, because the idea is Cub Shulker combo, but ever since these went to 4 per card, now it's just buy 2 Cubs and hope for the best, and you've also got the Iglas, and your teammate should have Bucks out, so you don't really need those. Helis, so now you can get more Helis if you want, right? Or you could get more planes. So the Seed, for example, like this is actually pretty good Seed, and against the NATO divs, it's Eyehawks, seedable, Rolands, seedable, Crotals, seedable. The Minstrels are going to give you a problem, but there's a lot of things you can seed. Or you can just have 2 extra helos in case something bad happens. But if you're planning on air spamming, which I guess you're not, you would bring the Seed. So his teammate, Gadaffi, has gone 6Y. And so, yeah, basically, so if you've got 2 RM70s firing all game, you will actually drain the fob. And so these 3 cards of supply, one of which you would give to your teammate, basically. Yeah, so these, don't bother max vetting these, because the rate of fire doesn't actually go up because it's an autoloader, so you might as well just keep them at 2 vet. Also, this will die in 1 hit to an anti-tank plane missile. Can't remember if the enemy gets those. They do, but I can't remember if they brought them. Yeah, F-16 AT, and this is cluster. So, yeah, you might want to consider... Because you've got the T-55s for the early game, and then these are, you know... They've got 16 armor plus ERA, which means that they will survive a front hit from a 30 AP missile, which is the F-16 AT. Whereas this won't, because it has 1 less HP. So that's the difference. And so that's why the price difference is so big. Because the one on the left will survive an anti-tank plane missile from full HP, and the one on the right won't. And so that is an important difference. So yeah, you know, it's up to you, right? If you want to survive the anti-tank plane missile or not. What I will say is, like, so this can be good, but wouldn't you rather have some more tanks? Yeah, the advantage of these is you get 1 more per card. So you get 6 tanks instead of 4. So actually it might be worth bringing these and just killing all his AT planes, hoping they die, whatever. So, but yeah, it would be nice to have more tanks, right? So you can get some more tanks, maybe. It's a 2-point slot. You'd have to get rid of this, basically. Or this one. And just go for more tanks, but it's up to you. If you want to play more defensive, these are more useful. Recon, so I've clarified BMP 1 again. If you want your tanks to see, this is more useful. Also, the Spetsgrupper A are really good in towns, and Omen has a big town in the middle, so I'm very surprised you're not bringing this. Right, because they are really nice. I would probably prefer it to this. But yeah, and then this would go with your tanks to help your tanks see with its very good optics. This, by the way, these 4 PKTs have twice the DPS of an autocannon. So that's something. And then, yeah, you can bring the Tunguskas if you want, but this is super good against infantry, so I'd bring this instead. Helis. Okay, the advantage of the urn is you get 6 of them at 2 vet. So that's worth keeping in mind. And bringing those. And then, yeah, trying to run air cover with this and this. These are good because you can buy 3 in a minute, just poop them all out. And they're 6 HP and the 3 availability as well. That's interesting. I think they should be 4 availability. I just don't see why not. The idea is, oh, but what if they buy 4 in a minute? Well, if you basically you've been massively skill issued. If somebody buys 3 of these in a minute and you don't have any AA, you deserve to lose 3 units. And if you don't have any AA and they buy 4 in a minute, you deserve to lose 4 units. This thing is, thing is, bombs aren't as good now. These used to be 500 kilo, now they're 250. But the idea is this one shots any tank, so that's why it's so expensive. Whereas this, the bombs drop very slowly, and so you can actually get out of the way. It will do a lot of damage though if you don't. So that's it for the deck reviews. It took a while. I said I wouldn't go through every single thing, and I did. So let's get on with the game. Right, so with that out of the way, talking about the map, it's symmetrical. The idea is you play it in 1v1, but these guys are doing a 2v2. I mean, like, nobody can stop you. It's your copy of the game. It can come across, and particularly in the deck review, I was like, look, these divs are not good picks. But it's like, if you're just chilling out with your friends and having a good time, you can put whatever lobby settings on you want. It's your prerogative. But it's my role here to point out, what gives you an advantage, what doesn't give you an advantage, what's good, what's bad. So it might come across as like, who's this guy to tell me how to play? Because I understand that most people play team games on maps which I would consider too small for team games. And Eugen endorses this by saying things like Death Row are for 2v2, which they just clearly aren't. But yeah, in general, it's this should be a 1v1 map. And 35th US is a weak div at the best of times. Basically, last time I played it, I would just run out of because I played like 5 or 6 games in a row, and I would just run out of stuff at 30 minutes. And it's like, oh, well, I guess I'll lose then. And all your stuff's National Guard, and you still run out. It's pretty crazy. It's very sad, yeah. 6E, basically, you want to use your mobility. If you get drawn into a protracted fight against any normal division, you're going to lose. So the idea is you use your mobility, you hit all on the right, then you swing around, you hit all on the left, you use your pretty good air force to back that up. Everything's motorized, so you can, move your Crotals across and stuff like that. So if you're playing on a map that's designed for a 1v1 with this highly mobile deck, basically you're not going to be able to move properly, and then you're going to lose. So, or at least you're going to have a very difficult time. I haven't seen the game yet. I don't know who wins. So yeah, these are pretty rough picks. On PACT, 6YA is very meta, and 7th East German is meta in the tournaments because 9th East German and 20th Polish always get banned, so people go on 7th. So I think Red has a much better draft, like a much better chance of winning the game. But they chose not to bring rocket artillery, which is, I think, a big detriment for them because the target saturation is going to be pretty high here, particularly on this Bravo point. There's going to be loads of guys here, and if you got 2 rocket arty and a fob, then your opener will be weak because you buy the fob. But I mean, they're all +1s, so as long as you don't lose this one, and you just play defensively at the start, then you should be able to get both cards of rocket arty and just kill everybody. But it's weird because blue brought the fob even though they don't really have any need for it. So yeah, we might as well cover the deployment. So basically, we've got 7th Panzer going into most of the map, and 6Y going into one corner. So it's pretty rough for the 7th Panzer player because they have to cover all this. So we've got some supply. Are there cubs? No, there's just loads of supply. Interesting. Usually, you'd put cubs with that. Otherwise, what's the point in... But yeah, it's nice to have a frontline supply, so you can resupply guys fast. Then we've got an AA gun going to here for some reason, but not unloading. So if you press Y and then press there, it would get there and unload, but maybe it doesn't want it to unload, he just wants it to be there. I'm not sure what the advantage is of it being there. Aufklärer getting here and not unloading. Yeah, so you click the unit up here, click Y on your keyboard, or whatever your you know, unload at position command is, and then click, and then it will go there and unload. Otherwise, all he's done here is just given it a fast move order, and it's going to get there and just sit there in the vehicle. So, and it's the same for this, except it's attack moving. It's not unloading. Then we've got 4 Mortschützen who are not unloading. 2 T-72Ms, which can't unload. A Schilke, a Recon for the 2 T-72Ms, and a CV going, starting here and going to Echo. So I'm not sure if you can start it on this road. I'm pretty sure you can, but then you get to Echo faster and you can go Echo Delta Charlie Bravo. But basically, yeah, this one, yeah, you would go Echo. If it's a 1v1, I'd have a CV going Alpha Charlie Bravo and a CV going Echo Delta. And that's what they're doing here, except it's his teammate has got to Alpha Charlie. So this, yeah, and you can shift Q commands. So if you hold shift, it would just, you know, shift click it from here to here. You need to make sure it's not right on the edge of the zone or it won't cap it in time before it goes to the next zone. So yeah, shift up to here and then up to here. And then, you know, take them both. Just ways to help yourself, basically. This guy, I've cast one of his previous games, so he's learnt about this. Didn't tell his friend, though. So, look, he's pressed Y there, and then it's going to go up there and unload. So, yeah, that's pretty funny, actually, because last time he wasn't doing it. Whereas this time his friend's not doing it. So he's learned his lesson, but he hasn't felt like sharing yet. So, yeah, conquers, and then 4. Presumably he's got some jets coming, because, like, where else have all the points gone? Because you look how many units his teammate has. And then, yeah, 4 helos trying to rush golf. I think this is a terrible idea, frankly. Because if these guys get up here first, all this is going to die. No recon helo to, like, go ahead and make sure it's okay or anything. So, like, these guys, you could unload them all here, you know. I've noticed throwing rocket transports, which is cool, but I mean, if your opponent brought AA, this, well, we'll see. We'll see right now. So their opponent, we've got EJdude, who has opened FOB, even though there's no rocket arty on the team, and it's like, it's weird, because red would have benefited from a FOB here, whereas blue's brought one, and I don't think this is going to get used at all. We'll see. I think it'll have lots of supply left by the end. We'll see, though. Then we've got, it's kind of hard to pass this. I wonder who's going where. So I guess they're just both going everywhere, sort of. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on. If I press play, we'll be able to tell. But basically, there's a bunch of infantry. And, you know, 1 tank, no AMX-10 RC recon units. Like, that, isn't that the whole point? So what I would have expected to see is a crap on every road to get favourable positions. Remember, he doesn't bring the DinOps, so crap on every road to get the favourable positions, because they start further forwards, right, than these guys. And then, like, an AMX-10 RC on a couple roads. And so you get the AMX-10 RC, you know, down here, and then you send it over, and then you put it around here, you send it around the back. Like, that's the whole point of 6E. You're supposed to be as annoying as hell, because if you just fight in a stand-up fight, you've got a massive disadvantage. So, yeah, let's start the game, and then I can tell where all these are going. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get their videos early, they get members exclusive videos. One join at the lowest levels worth 2,000 views, so if you're feeling bad about your ad block, it's a great way to support the channel. Typically, you want to use the range advantage of the MiG-31. But I guess the whole point of this being here is just to make sure the helos can get in. But the idea generally is you fire one, you turn back around. You fire another one, you turn back around. Because, yeah, if you dive and the enemy unloads their Eyehawk, they're going to kill you. Or if the Crotal shoots, you know, you're going to have a rough time. I wouldn't have evac this, I would have kept it around, because in 8 seconds, these are going to get hit by some planes. Because, well, depends if blue buys before they see this. You can also do is open with a recon helo, and then you'd spot things a lot earlier. Or, you know, 6E gets the drone, open with a drone. That's a very good opener. You just send it out and it'll see lots of things. So there you go. So he actually bought another MiG-31, so that's his air cover. But you want to make sure it doesn't get too close, right? Because if the Eyehawk shoots it, you know. You notice he's turned off auto cover here, so it keeps its mojo. Otherwise, when you unload it, it will prioritize going into... Oh, he's just got it off by default. Okay. Otherwise, it'll prioritize going into a forest. So... sounds in this game are really weird. If you zoom in, they're like way too loud. And if you zoom out, you literally just can't hear anything. And I think that's a big shame. I think it should have like a weighted scaling. I think they're probably using like a more realistic scaling. Sounds how far away you do tend to hear them less. But it makes it harder for me to cast a game basically, because I never know how loud I should have it. So I end up with, most of the time it's too quiet, sadly. Also, I feel like it's different in a replay. Maybe it's because I'm zoomed out more. I can zoom in a bit more. So, yeah. Blue's got in first. But, you know, typically you'd expect like a, you know, a crap all the way up to here at the start. But, yeah, I don't know, like neither set of, so like 7th East German, where's the Spezialaufklärer coming up to here, you know, at the start. But... yeah, neither side have really gone for it. So 2 of the Mi-8 rockets died, but this actually got in, which I was very surprised by, frankly. I'm quite surprised by that. So what you can do with this is try and get it to somewhere where it can shoot the additional reinforcements. So like there's nice, although it wouldn't get them on this road, so you got to be careful because obviously these guys can kill you. I am just going to turn it up a bit though. Sorry, I'm going to have to do a cut here. Right, so we're back. Sorry about that. I just turned it up a bit. Hopefully we can hear a bit better now. Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. So, CEV is actually, like, so I've been thinking about these a lot. In general, like the AVRE as well. Like, I never usually liked them, but they are nice in that if you... so, like, if this fired at this building, all 3 of those guys would get red suppression and then they'd just be useless, because if you read the tooltip down here, it says, oh, he's gone up to mediocre. It's a shame. So, yeah, they're not actually so bad. They do shoot slowly, but you only really need 1 hit. And so, the issue is that they're really slow at everything. But, yeah, this is a pretty cool attack. Like, he's got the military police with it. He's got everything together. He's got AA. It's a pretty successful attack. In the meantime, so Blue's lost their CV, I assume it was this, but Red has the zone. The MiG-21 ends up going down. Sadly, they broke this, it just doesn't show up. Hopefully they fix that. Anyway, low cohesion's hit, and you see accuracy reduced by 75%. So... if you can get people down to low cohesion, they could become pretty useless. This is an interesting squad, because it's got 12 men, and it's only 50 points. But flamethrowers in general are kind of bad, but having 12 men's not bad for 50 points. So, Jaguar rockets coming back here. Okay, so he gets the vehicle, but... that Sparhees might go down now because this is going to shoot with the Metis and the other guy gets him. So, going well for Blue in mid, but not well on the left. But, like, so Red could, I was going to say, Red could send the CV. I wouldn't put it here, I'd hide it over here. And then, you know, get these guys around this side. I guess this guy is hiding behind the building, but if he was in the building, he'd kill this, so... and this one. So that's a shame. Actually, if he was in the building, he would have got him there. There's nothing that should be shooting at him. Just all these guys have auto cover switched off. So that's why. That's why they're just hiding behind the building. The way I do it is I have it switched on by default, and then I have a key to switch it off. And honestly, I do switch it off a lot. But by default, it's on, which means that, you know, my guys will automatically go in the building. But a lot of times it does get you killed, because if you've got a tank on a road... and there's like a forest to the left of it. So let's say it's on this road, and there's an enemy here. It'll come up to here, and then it'll automatically show its side armor so it can drive into here, and then it'll turn back to face the enemy. And in doing so, you get side shot and you die. So you have to turn off the auto cover. And so leaving it off can make sense. but it has its own disadvantages, which is like, you know, this guy would automatically cover into that forest, for example, and then he would take 50% less damage, whereas now he's going to be taking all the damage. I mean, he only had 1 HP, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. So the Legionnaires are pretty cool. Like, they are pretty nice. So the CV went down for red there, and it's even Stevens because blue needs to send a CV over to the left. I was going to say, like, where are all the purchases? Looks like somebody's not been spending their income. So that's like 3 minutes income there. Because these 2 of these is more than 1 minute. Actually, no, it isn't. 240. 230. No, 240. Yeah. So that's over 2 minutes income there. So you gotta spend your income. Gazelle cannons, we spoke about these. Like, if they're at 2 vet, they do a lot better because they've got like twice the DPS. Typically, you want to just let them shoot, right? So yeah, I would just give them an attack move order and let them go at it. Because if you start right-clicking them, they start like, look, this one just decides I actually need to be a lot closer to shoot him, even though this one you just didn't. And so yeah, giving helicopters right-click orders can really mess them up. Unless there's a CV there and you're willing to wait the extra time. Now you need to land these, or they'll both die. Try and send them back. That works too. Crow Towels, right? They should be in the edges of the forests. It's not like Broken Arrow. This presumably was supposed to go on the Tunguska. Otherwise, I mean, yeah, that was not great, because like the Tunguska should really kill you there. Surprised it survived. If this was a proper plane, it would have got him. So, M110s purchased. They've been brought very far up. Basically, when you buy these, you just want to immediately shoot them. So first things first, the CV should be with them because it's not doing anything. And as soon as you buy it, it should fire from spawn, even though it's inaccurate. And that's because it reloads while moving. So you get more bang for your buck if as soon as it spawns you shoot something and then you move up. Because that's like an extra volley. All it costs you is the time it takes to fire it, not the time it takes to reload it. So I think that is a good idea. Maybe he can't see anything. Yeah, he probably can't. So, you know, that explains that. And then it's a case of, you know, moving up to the edge of this town, right? Don't give up space for no reason. Move this up here, then you'd see stuff, you know. So, the regular tanks don't have the better stealth. And that's why I think they're overpriced, because they actually aren't that good if you think about it. They've got a really nice bullet, but they've only got 4 armor, and they're not actually that fast off-road. So yeah, this is where you use your lack of auto cover to hide behind the building, and you don't go all the way out because he's going to shoot you when you get to here. You just hide right behind the building. There's the power of the Sublinde. So these are trying to shoot the Tunguska, that makes sense. And yeah, it's not Broken Arrow, where you just leave your AA in a field. It will still fire just as well in a deep forest, so you want it on the edge of a forest, because then it will get cover, and if it's in the deep forest, it's harder to move when the arty comes for it. So you want it on the edge of the forest. If it's in the open, it's going to get spotted and killed. Whereas in Broken Arrow, it's the opposite, because they don't shoot properly if they're in a forest. Which is weird. I mean, I suppose it's realistic. So, yeah, you see how much 6E struggles against just regular stuff. If they can't move around, they just have a really rough time. I'm really surprised by the lack of a CV here. Like, so, I said this should go with that, and, you know, that makes sense, but what also makes sense is just putting it in here, right? Because you've got it, so you might as well just send it back and send it up into this corner, and then you can be on a +1. Because, yeah, for some reason, there's just been no attempt from either player to try and get some points on the board. Yeah. So, need a Stinger here. Stinger's moving in. The Ito, you know, you can hide them behind the buildings and stuff so they don't die. I assumed that's why the auto cover's off, because then you can just hide it behind a building without having to turn off the auto cover. So yeah, this is Red's attack coming in here. Got some T-72s. You see they're a lot better than the M60s, like a lot better in this game. Obviously, in real life, they just fall apart. They get hit once and the turret flies off. But in this game, they're pretty OP. The T-72 line. So you see the the automatic targeting there means that they're not finishing their targets. That one did, but you saw this one was trying to shoot over there. Yeah, they're not shooting this when they should be. So that's an occasion where you have to right click basically. So otherwise they just don't finish killing stuff. So yeah, it's pretty crazy gameplay here. Just walk into your opponent and win. T-72 moment, I suppose. Also, most of these guys don't have anti-tank, so I guess that explains a lot. Yeah, like this doesn't have anti-tank. The dragon guy maybe could move up. Like this is pretty crazy. Yeah, it's not going so great for blue, which is good because that's what I said would happen because of the draft. So obviously I want to be right? Yeah, so typically you only want like one guy in each house, unless you really want to burst down a, you know, like, sometimes you put like 2 conkers in one house just to like try and hit something, and then you immediately move them out, because generally that's where the artillery goes, and like, you know, these guys aren't shooting. It's looking pretty rough for blue at the moment. They're losing on both fronts now. And yeah, they don't get any AT4s, I'm pretty sure, in this. So basically the 6 easy player would have to give you a group anti-chaffer here to kill all these. Whether or not he will depends on how good your coordination is. I mean, that's what happens in, like, so I play a lot of these 2v2 tournaments, and generally I don't win. Generally I come near the top, but not at the top, and that's because the coordination with my teammates is quite poor compared to the guys who win. Like, the guys who win, they're not even, you know, they're not, like, mechanically better than us. They just, in most cases, sometimes they are. They're just better at coordinating. So yeah, good arty strikes there. Killed 1 or 2 of these. That one survived, but all you got to do is just move forwards a building, and then okay, I'll just wait for him to come to you, I suppose. Oh, good. Also, there is a church in here somewhere, but it's only on one of the sides. There it is, so this is useful. But yeah, basically, EJdude, you know, he took this, and then he just kind of sat there. But you wanna move up into this, and you want to get people in here, because then you can come around here and mess them up, you can come around here and mess them up, and that helps you with this. So when you take a zone, don't just sit in half of it, you got to push up. Because, like, this is basically where he was at the start. I mean, he might have been a couple buildings forwards, like he was on this side, but you just allow the enemy to walk in, it's not fantastic. But yeah, it's looking pretty bad for blue, particularly on the left, and yeah, it's what we spoke, and yeah, this hasn't been used. It's what we spoke about. 6E, it's pretty weak division in general, but the advantage is you use the mobility, and so if you're not using the mobility because you can't, because you're hemmed in on, you know, a small part of the map, then it's rough. But you know what you can do is, like, well, why there's nobody here? All your stuff's motorized, right? Imagine if you just, you know, mix in an AA piece and a tank and just send that round it. You'd get straight in. I mean, typically you use the drone to check, see what's there ahead of you, or a recon helo. You'd get straight in, and you could get in there, you know, or you could try coming down here. There are ways you can still be mobile, but in general it's just not easy, right? Particularly in a confined environment, you can't really be too mobile. But look, this is entirely empty. There's nobody there. You could just walk straight in. So, cheapo bombers, spoke about these in the deck review. I think they should be 4 per card, and it's like, oh no, what if you get caught with your pants down? Well, then you deserve to die, because look what's happening in reality here. They're all just dying, which is what should happen, because they die in 1 hit to you know, Eyehawks, and even the Roland. They've only got 6 HP. So Ito claims a victim there. And, yeah, what can I say? Like, maybe the arty could fire there. You know, you've got this arty. Does he know it's there? I mean, he knows this is here. You could aim at that. He should know it's in there because he's up to here, so it has to be in this corner. And from the line, you can tell where it is, because you just draw a line from, you know, it's just a cross from your CV to where the line is. And so you just, it's going to be around here somewhere, right? And look, there it is. So in the meantime, yeah, Appelas coming around, coming in from the sides. This guy's not been unloaded, very sad. And the T-72s, it's just an easy... Red just has a way easier strategy to execute, which is just buy T-72s and walk towards you. Although I'm not sure why he sort of showed his side armor there, but could have just attack move from here. There's no... Yeah, everybody's getting side shot. It's not ideal. Anyway, Jaguar cluster claims a victim there. I think that was the Tunguska. It does go down to the other Tunguska. And I'm just really, really surprised that Red doesn't have 2 bucks out and 4 cubs out, and then none of this would be a problem. So why not, right? F-16 decides to fly in a big circle over that Tunguska. But yeah, like, where's the long-range AA from Red? Oh, there we go. There's a book. So, you know, Blue's still hanging on in the center, but this is actually starting to get better. This needs some heals, right? So you gotta drive it a bit closer, get some recon, right? Get some recon. You've just seen this get shot there, so don't send this guy down the same road because he'll die to the same thing. Looks like he's chosen to get shot. Oh, there he might. Whoa, okay, he just dodged it there. But yeah, if one of these was a CV, you know, you just send the CV the same way you send the other guys, and Bob's your uncle, right? So, Akatsia's out. Yeah. You notice this tendency for players who don't have that many games to just buy 4 of one thing, and then 4 of the next thing, and then 4 of the next thing. So you see like 4 T-72s come down, and then, you know, 4 infantry this way, 4 infantry this way. And if you get out of that habit, you'll win more games. So like now, okay, now I need anti-tank guns, I'll buy 3 anti-tank guns. No, you need a bit of it. 1 tank, 1 infantry, next minute, 1 anti-tank gun, 1 recon, you know, next minute, 1 helo. Whereas if you just buy 4 of one thing, because you're like, oh, I need infantry, like you're only thinking what you need now, not what you're going to need later, because let's say you've only got tanks on the front lines. Oh, I need infantry. Then all your tanks die, because they don't have any infantry. So then by the time your infantry gets to the front line, you're like, oh, I need tanks, and then you buy 4 tanks, and it's kind of hard to get out of, so it's not ideal. Typically, if you turn off your gun with your, you know, to dodge the... I mean, that was a really good seed strike. There you go, the 2 vet there. Wow, incredible. Is this going to unload? No, it doesn't look like it. It's like Gadaffi finally gets his revenge on the French nation for destroying his country. Although this is set in the past, so I'm not sure how that works, really. But anyway, anti-tank gun. So bailed out there. Basically, like, look, so, okay, oh, I need tanks. Buy 6 tanks. Oh, I need infantry. Buy 4 infantry. Oh, I need infantry. Buy 4 infantry. You know, you need to get out of this habit. You need to get out of this habit, right? Sometimes you really do just need, you know, 4 tanks. But usually you don't. Usually you need, you know, 1 of one thing, 1 of the next thing. 1 supply, 1 recon, right? Because, yeah, if Blue actually pushed here, he would actually just be able to kill this. But he doesn't have the recon. He doesn't have, you know, could use a couple more infantry, and yeah, like, there's nobody here, so. Anyway, gazelle cannons. So this one probably won't be able to aim properly, and then it gets critted and dies. Always a joy. And then, yeah, you want this here so that they can't do stuff. I'm not sure what that was, really. I think the Eyehawk hit it. Then you want to move the Eyehawk, because the artillery should really come in on the Eyehawk. But yeah, it's still very winnable for Blue. Like, Red doesn't have too much here. Oh yeah, I need more tanks, 4 tanks. Wait, so this is more what it's about. I mean, obviously, yeah, look at that. That's a mixed, that's a good purchase right there. Obviously, he's made the mistake where he's not spent his income as fast as he could, but, you know, it's a mix. Whereas this is literally, oh, I need tanks. Oh, I need infantry. I need more tanks. I need more infantry. It's like, it just doesn't work, because you end up with, you know, tanks without recon. Like, what you need right here is to attack with recon and tanks and stuff, but, you know, 1 less tank, 1 more recon, that sort of thing. So you want these moving after they shoot. Presumably the tank used to be there. So yeah, I thought he was going on the artillery, but no, that's back here. And these guys are dying in their transports, so you could get some ATGM here or something. So now we've got 4 legions coming in. No recon on this side, so you can't see any of the guys in the buildings. But the guys aren't in the buildings, they're just sort of chilling out. Like this guy, like, what's there? Do you know what I mean? This isn't cover. These greenhouses, you can't actually hide in those. I know it looks like they're trying, but yeah, it's not how it works. So, yeah, need a bit of vision, right? Could fly this closer, but the Igler will hit it. So you need one of these should be the recon variant, basically. You should buy all the recon ones before you buy the proper ones, actually, because the proper ones are just overpriced. I think they shouldn't be that cost. The gun is nice, but the armor's really bad, and the speed isn't actually that high, so I think it's pretty rough. Like, the recon ones are only slightly more expensive. So, iHawk claims another victim. This guy's not moved. Could hit him with the Jiatsin. But yeah, fighters are out. AT plane, presumably for the M60s, and yeah, the moment's kind of passed now, right? There's more infantry here, but blue could definitely... I mean, there's really nobody here. And, you know, this is only 20 points. You could just run it forwards. I suppose these would shoot you, but... yeah, a lot of this zone is about the sides as well. If blue took this, they'd basically get this and this, because if you own this, then you come over here and you can shoot this way, and you can come over here and you can... oh, nobody can reinforce now. But instead we've got this guy who just hasn't unloaded. He's moved around a bit. He's still in the transport. But yeah, looks like blue could probably get back in this. Look, they're sending over the recon, and now the tanks can shoot. They're going on the Igloo, which makes sense, because that'll kill the recon. This has a 50 cal, so yeah, I'll finish that off. So that here you go. It's turning around. It's turning around. But they need to get over here. There's nobody here. This is the sort of thing that you get the mortars for. I've noticed everybody brings mortars, or, you know, most people bring mortars. Everybody in this game, I'm pretty sure, has brought a mortar. And that's because in my videos, I'm like, you should bring a mortar and use it for smoke. And so they do the first half, but they don't do the second half. I've not seen us... I think there's 1 mortar back here, yeah. So there you go. Bone clearly leading the way there. So people put the mortars in the deck, but they don't use them. And yeah, I think this would benefit from being unloaded. And like, what's the plan here? Why not just unload him in the corner and hide him? Why is he even left in his transport and just attack moving around and just doing his absolute level best to get killed here? What? Yeah, it really makes you think, man. I mean, why? What's going on here? Why not just unload him in this building? Why is he driving around in his transport? What's the plan? Like, because he gave him an active order to go in there. Why not just unload him where he was and then run him in there? Why keep him in the transport? Because all this time it's been owned by Red. It's very, very strange. Yeah, anyway. This guy just keeps getting bought by 1 and then swapped out. Because you see he's just getting constantly capped, and then he'll turn around. And then he'll go back, and then he'll get capped again. And then, yeah. I mean... how long that's been going on for. In the meantime, like, EJdude definitely has the advantage in this zone. He could very much come and do something about this, but what he needs is a recon infantry. A couple recon infantry, right? And if he gets to this building, then he can kill the CV. LGBT just kind of hanging out. Buck misses him at least. So this will cap automatically without unloading. So at least we've solved that problem. And there you go. So blue should get on a +1 once this fully caps. Yeah, they seem intent on letting this buck hit him. I don't know where... Okay. Let's just fly over the middle now. Yeah, I honestly, like, red really should have had more cubs and stuff up, but yeah, I don't know. It's quite frustrating seeing this because it's right there, and they just can't get to it. All you got to do is run from here to there, get to this building, because you gotta think, like, the CV. Where's it gonna be? Well, I mean, he had loads of stuff here. Obviously, he's doing the whole. Oh, I need tanks. Oh, I need infantry. Oh, I need tanks. It's a practice thing, basically, but it's a great way to improve your game. Don't just buy blobs of things. Anyway, so you've got somebody here, so you know... And you had guys up here before they all died, right? So you know it's not here, It has to be around here in these buildings. You can see most of the buildings, so it's probably behind one of them. So you bomb behind here, that would be the most obvious spot. Then you bomb behind here, right, with your artillery, which isn't doing anything. But yeah, you got to think about these sides. They're very important, and it's the same for red. If red, like, red's not doing anything here. If blue attacked here, they'd be screwed. But anyway, you get these guys here, and you get up to here, and then you take this, and you come along, and you look in from the side. You don't have to shoot anybody. Just get a recon up there. You'd see the arty, then you can counter battery it. It's very, very important to take both sides because it helps you defend, it helps you attack. And, yeah, like, blue have really done this the hard way. They took this back by just punching it here, whereas if they... You know, because he had some tanks here, you get up to here, and then you just cut the reinforcements. I really like this map, actually. This one and Chandra, like, the new maps Eugen are making are good. They've learned. They've learned. It took them many, many years, but they've learned. Anyway, gonna take some more losses here. No, never mind. Drones out. Surprised we didn't see more of this. But yeah, it's only got 20% evasion now, although that missed it anyway, so... Yeah. At least it's not 50 anymore, I suppose. Would be nice if they wrote that somewhere. That is obviously not going to kill that, but okay. So let him know you can see him. But yeah, like, this would have been perfect for killing that, actually. So I'm surprised... And you can send the fighter out in front just to make sure that that gets hit and not your LGBT. But okay, so now there's 2 CVs here. And yeah, blue really struggling to push up. But it's just a case of, okay, you got these 3 guys. You put 1 there. These 2, they come over to here through this gap, right? And then they just come over to here. And then you can see, oh, there's the CV. And then you kill it. So it's very important. So I'm not sure what these were firing at, actually. It wasn't this. And the other thing is with that drone, surely they saw this. Because it was flying around. Yeah, you could just use the drone, send 2 drones over. Oh, there it is, you know. Because it doesn't identify the targets, but if there's a vehicle there, like, what else is it going to be? It's either going to be, you know, a tank somebody's forgotten about, or it's going to be a supply, or it's going to be a CV. So here we go, but sort of taking the wrong route here, because you're just sort of going where the enemy can kill you. But yeah, if all of this just got brought around, instead of just hanging out, just bring all this down this road and engage, you'd get a lot of things here. So one wonders what the plan is for all these units. Really big shame to see, like, so... I said it was an undersized map. They've actually only played on half of it. Nothing has happened here for the whole game. I'm not sure what that dropped on. Oh, we thought there was somebody in there. You probably thought the ACGM was coming from there, but was not. Anyway, so they're sort of attacking now, but actually not really. Just leaving a lot of their units hanging out. Not really doing anything. You gotta think about this like an economist. If you've got units you're not using, they might as well be dead. Economists feel the same way about unemployed people. If you're not paying taxes for Israel, you might as well be dead. That's how my government thinks about me, anyway. And so, because yeah, like if it's not doing anything, if it's not contributing, right? Obviously in game terms now, then it's, you know, then that represents an inefficiency, and if you can minimize that inefficiency, then you will deal more damage. Obviously, your concentration has a limit, and your concentration will go up as you sort of learn more. What I will say is, like, where's the recon? You just can't see this, and it's just killing all you guys. It's very sad. So the only reason you can see it is because this just drove right into it. So, and it killed 3 of them. And this is what I mean about the armor. I mean, these have even less. Yeah. Like, you compare the price of this to a Leopard 1A5. Actually, it's not actually that dissimilar. But the Leopard 1A5 has 6 more armor, so... yeah. Okay, so another advance, but they're all going to one building. You want one in here, one in here, one in here, because then they don't take splash, but this is just going to kill them all, right? So... yeah, it's a damn shame, really. I mean, obviously they have broken through here, but they lost so much. And, like, okay, well, you might as well send these, don't just hang out. Get a Crotal up there. There was a Crotal here, it's wheeled. Look, he's flanking. Do some flanking. So here we go! Here we go! Maybe you'll see the CV! Like, this has been absolutely very, 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 very frustrating for me, because, like, how do you not know it's there? Where else can it be? It's gotta be in here. Just use the arty and blow everything up. Send a drone, do something. Don't just leave it there. Oh my gosh. They just don't want to know. They don't want to know. They just want to hang out and think about it. And now... oh, I need infantry. 10 infantry. That looks really cool, actually. You know, it flew right past the camera, but you just go forwards one building. Oh my gosh. That's why you don't blob. That was absolutely abhorrent. That was like 6 guys. Oh, that was a horror show. And they're just not... you got 5 minutes, you can win. Nah, I don't feel like it. I'm just waiting for him to go forward to build it. He just doesn't want to do it. This is so sad. And now that, I guess it just wasn't paying attention. Now that's dead. Surely this guy can see it now. This is so sad. This artillery could have been doing a lot more, frankly. Could have killed this ages ago. Like, legit 10 minutes ago, he could have killed it. Now there's not. I don't think there's enough time. So he said... so he... I don't know, is it desynced or something? So he sent one forwards, but he sent it from all the way back here, because these 2 guys, you know, they're on their break, apparently. That's the reservists for you, the National Guard. So here we go, he's finally going to see it. Maybe... oh no, he was right there, but he changed his mind and switched buildings. If he got in this one, he would have seen it a bit faster there. There we go. Finally. So with 4 minutes left, they'll be on a +1. Which isn't enough. That was very sad. It was very, very sad to watch. Because, yeah, I mean, it was just right there the whole time. They didn't move it or anything. Wow. Is that on the rear arm or something? Oh no, was it an infantry CV in a truck? Or was it just like a supply vehicle or something? Oh, I might have misread that. But yeah, you don't want to put multiple people in one building unless you like really need to kill something fast. And then you should immediately split up, because the artillery should kill you. But These guys just haven't spent their points for the last 5 minutes, apparently. So now there's a big conga line coming. Explains why blue has so many units on the map, but like these have been forgotten about. Got some recon now. And look at that. That's why you don't put them all in the same building. So there you go. Looks like red's gonna win on time. What can I say? This is why I don't play team games. If my teammate was doing something like this, it would really stress me out. I'd be spam pinging them, and they'd be rage quitting and getting replaced with moderate AI, which is a fate worse than death, frankly. At least in Red Dragon you get their units. And in Broken Arrow as well. So, yeah. Big conga line coming now. Oh, we need some BMP ones. I see that. But it's too little too late, basically. This one might get in. I mean, basically, you don't have time for any of this. You got 2 minutes, so, like, just send it straight in. Yeah. So there you go, there's another one in here, because he just hasn't capped the edge of the zone, he's just sat halfway in it, so they just walk in. And like everybody, these guys are giving emotional grief counseling to Commander Pace here, who has done a terrible job and should be fired from the US military. They're all fast moved, so their attack moves, you know, you tend to get a bit more attack fast move or something like that. But yeah, basically at this point you'd want to be right clicking this because they will target switch to other things because he's low cohesion. Okay, never mind, they finished him off that time. Maybe they fixed that, I don't know, I don't think they did. But yeah, you don't want to blob like this, it's very bad for you. It's very bad for you. Oh, I need tanks. Oh, I need infantry. It's actually very, very hard to get out of that... Oh, I need everything. It's very, very hard to get out of that... oh, this guy got a bit done, actually. Get out of that mindset of just buying for one thing for the next thing. And getting into... Like, look at this! The first attack on this side of the map. Just went straight through because there was just nobody there. Oh, that's unfortunate, isn't it? And when it's bailed out, his class does not actually in the zone, so... That's why it was collapsing on it there with the line. It was just classed as dead, basically. So, big conga line here. Yeah. Very interesting game. This is why I'm not in the army, by the way. I'd be one of these guys. And my commander would be like, yeah, just YOLO, bro. What? I wasn't paying attention. I don't have enough hours in commander school. It looks really cool, though. Right? That's something people say that, you know, I need to do more, is like zoom in and look at how cool it is. So there you go. Here's the cool Soviet attack. It does look very cool. But yeah, sadly, blue just didn't take those zones fast enough. I was surprised that they had the comeback that they did. That's a pretty crazy KD there from EJdude. So we got Gadaffi here, 200 games. Bone, 6 games. Wow, it was pretty good for 6 games. EJdude, 200 games, and GingerDeadMan, 3 games. Okay, I've got a lot more respect for them now, actually. If that was his 3rd ever game, I think he did a very good job. So, yeah, what can I say? I want to see that. There was a bombing run that got, like, big numbies, and, where was it? It was near the end. And, bomber came in. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units there. Don't blob.